excited about the ingredients we use. Remember that osmosis starts first and foremost by being an all-natural line. That's important because we think that the most natural ingredients actually communicate best with the skin, and they create the least amount of inflammation in the skin, which is of course going to work against any skin condition that you're dealing with. Since every skin condition is based on inflammation, you need to use ingredients that don't add to that inflammation. It's common sense. This entire line is based on the common sense philosophies from research that's been done on the skin for many, many years. Another philosophy that we consider common sense at this point is chiral correction. Chiral correction is the process of taking the most natural part of the ingredient that you're using and making that ingredient as active and as stimulating as possible. For example, when you take a vitamin C molecule, it actually has two sides to it. You have a left-sided vitamin C, and that's called L-ascorbic acid, and you have a right-sided vitamin C, and that's called D-ascorbic acid. D stands for dextro, which is right, and L stands for levo, or left. So you'd say, well, gosh, I bet vitamin C is good for the skin. Well, they did research on it, and they actually found that when you use the right-handed version of a vitamin C molecule, it actually increases inflammation. It has no antioxidant ability in the skin, and it certainly doesn't stimulate collagen or elastin production. Lo and behold, it was the left side of the molecule, the L-ascorbic acid, that was proven to be the most potent. So we call L-ascorbic acid a chirally corrected ingredient. Anytime you see an L or an R in front of an ingredient, or a D, which is the other nomenclature for R, you know that this ingredient was chirally corrected. Now, we tried to chirally correct every ingredient we could in the line, but that's really up to the manufacturers, ingredient manufacturers, to spend the money on that. We don't have the scientific equipment to be able to separate them ourselves. So look through a line, and every time you see an L or an D, know that you're getting the most potent ingredient. One other example I'll give you of this is alpha-lipoic acid. I'm sure many of you have heard of all the benefits of alpha-lipoic acid. We know it's an antioxidant. We know it stimulates collagen and elastin. But what you probably haven't heard much about is R-lipoic acid, the right-handed molecule for alpha-lipoic acid. R-lipoic acid is 10 times stronger than alpha-lipoic acid when applied to the skin, both as an antioxidant and as a collagen stimulator. So you can see where chiral correction comes into play and why it's so important. The next aspect of being a natural line, of course, is your preservatives. Preservatives have become, and thankfully so, a very big conversation piece in most estheticians' offices. Even in physicians' offices now, people are looking for ingredients that are paraben-free or that don't have some of the other harsh preservatives like phenoxyethanol. There's so many to list that I'll just tell you that if you can't pronounce an ingredient, chances are it's not very good for you or your skin. But the preservatives we use are very natural. They're plant-based ingredients. They're proven to reduce mold and bacteria growth, which is all we're really looking to do. But what's nice about them is because they're plant-based, they're actually designed to not interfere with the activity of the current ingredients. You see, would you really want your highly expensive, incredible collagen-stimulating ingredients soaking in formaldehyde? Well, that's the kind of environment that you expose it to when you're putting some of these harsh preservatives into your serums. We think it makes the serums less effective. We know it adds to the inflammation of the skin. And we think you'll agree with us that the right choice is going natural with your preservative base. You absolutely want to control the count of your bacteria and your mold, but without question, you want to make sure that your skin is healthy in the process, and that's what we've done with our osmosis serums and all of our product line for that matter. The other component of skincare that is very exciting to us is utilizing the most researched ingredients on the marketplace. Now, usually when you find a researched ingredient, you're going to pay a lot more for that ingredient because someone spent, if not hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars on that ingredient. One classic example in our line is the phosphatidylcholine. There are probably millions of dollars were spent researching that, and it was proven to do all kinds of things. We've seen it do clear acne by 70%, normalize oil production, protect against UVB damage, increase penetration by 1,000% of all the active ingredients that it surrounds. So we know that phosphatidylcholine is proven. We paid more for that incredibly advanced liposome, but it's absolutely worth it. Retinaldehyde In the 90s, retinaldehyde had phenomenal research behind it. It was proven to treat acne. It was the only proven ingredient to treat rosacea. It's proven to be as strong as retinoic acid in its ability to fight photo damage, but it's also proven to not be irritating. So you can see where research becomes valuable, because most people would say, well, I wouldn't use retinol on this individual or with this skin type or with this sensitive person because it's too irritating or over-exfoliating or traumatizing. I don't blame you for that philosophy. What I'm telling you now is we've solved that problem. We're using ingredients that the research shows are highly effective. You have 1,3-beta-glucan, proven to increase macrophage activity, which reduces scar tissue and debris buildup in the skin. But it also stimulates collagen and elastin. R-lipoic acid, proven to increase collagen and elastin stimulation over normal alpha-lipoic acid by 10-fold, and yet very effective as an antioxidant, and of course non-irritating. And the key to all this irritation conversation, and this is an important thing to understand, is I would tell you I love L-ascorbic acid, but it is irritating to the epidermis. So if you don't penetrate it to the dermis, I wouldn't use a lot of it. But we're in the fortunate position where we're penetrating it to the dermis, so we can use a lot of it. It will get its maximum benefit as a result of that. We're using niacinamide to feed the skin. It increases capillary flow. That's going to increase your enzymes, your proteins, your lipids, your antioxidants. Every aspect of healthy skin comes from that food, and niacinamide is one of the key ingredients increasing that supply. We're using chlorella, an antioxidant that actually, in research, and again, I would have never used chlorella if there weren't the research out there showing that not only did it increase collagen and elastin stimulation, it actually protected collagen and elastin from being torn down. All of these ingredients are very exciting. Those are just some of the core anti-aging ingredients. Of course, retinaldehyde also works in acne and rosacea. Willow herb, again, research proven to be as strong as hydrocortisone, but it doesn't interfere with the immune system. Anybody out there who's using hydrocortisone on their skin should know, or if they haven't heard already, let me tell you now, that hydrocortisone thins the skin. Why? Because if you interfere with the immune system, which, remember, the immune system doesn't just fight infection, it also repairs damage. So if you interfere with the immune system, you don't repair damage, the skin thins. So we want to use anti-inflammatories that don't interfere with that process. That's why we'll stay away from steroids, and that's why we use willow herb so effectively. Now, we have wild cherry bark, we have many anti-inflammatories that we can talk about, but the key ingredients will be discussed as we talk about each product serum individually. So we look forward to seeing you there.